Hello everyone, welcome to mystery stamping for the month of July. Let me get you guys brought up over here so we can see what is going on here and if there's any questions. So last night we got so much rain. Oh my Lord, the desert is alive today. It is so green and lush out there. My garden was in heaven. It kind of started to sprinkle probably about 10 o'clock last night, and then it downpoured. Lightning, the sky was just lighting up. It was so beautiful. It was dark, but with that lightning, oh my goodness, the light would just flash so bright that you could see everything. It was kind of crazy. So it was a well-needed, good soaking that we got. Today, it has been absolutely beautiful. It is a little bit muggy today, but we are sitting here in the desert in the dead of summer. We are sitting at 83 degrees today. Hallelujah. I'll take it all day, every day. So, we didn't even turn the air conditioning on. It was like 77 for most part of the day. Probably about an hour ago, I finally went ahead and turned on the air conditioner, but we had the doors and the windows open all morning long. I turned the AC on just because it was starting to get muggy. Because as the temperature was going up with all that moisture in the ground, it was just really making everything muggy. And I don't deal with humidity well. So Bonnie says she is having thunderstorms there and it's raining. Oh, well, hopefully where you're at, you don't get any of the flooding, because I know back east, the flooding has been ridiculous. Wow, Karen, you are hotter than we are right now. Jeez Louise. Normally, we're in the hundreds right now, but man, when we have these monsoons, it sure does cool us off. Mary said that she's 95 right now. So crazy. Karen says she's in Tennessee and Mary's in Vermont and it's still in the 90s. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty warm. And like you guys say, the humidity is ridiculous back there. Now, when we do have a normal monsoon during the middle of the day, normally when that blows away, because they normally last maybe 20, 30 minutes and then they dissipate and then the sun is bright as ever. And it normally is pretty humid right after that. But because it did it last night, overnight, and it rained pretty much through the whole night. It would go on for a little bit and it would wake us up because you could really hear it hitting the roof. It was coming down that hard. And then it would stop for a little bit and we would go back to sleep and then it would, so it was a crazy night, but beautiful. Like I said, I'll take it. Okay, you guys, we are here for, like I said, mystery stamping. So why don't we go ahead and get into what we are going to need and how this is going to work for today. So on our supply list, or picture, I might say, we have a base, which is 4 inches by 10.5 inches. We have a piece of thick white cardstock here. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Our next layer that we need, this is for our inside. This is going to be 5 by 3 3/4. We've got 2 little labels here, and I'll show you the set that I am using this with here. I have chosen a new set that is actually coming out in our holiday catalog. And I'll show you the paper because I'm using the paper and a couple of other products with this as well. Share with you guys, just in case you don't have like a nesting label, which is kind of what we call this. In other words, it nests on top of the bigger layer to give you kind of a background. Now, if you don't have a die set that has those two, or a punch or anything like that of 2 different sizes that coordinate together, I'm going to show you how you can create this look without having 2 different sizes. So I will share that with you. I also am going to be using the Misty Moonlight ink and then 2 sentiment stamp sets. Okay. And then for the giveaway for this month, which I will do the drawing once you guys post pictures of your cards that you have created using this same layout. I am going to be drawing a winner on the 23rd, so next Wednesday, and I'm going to be giving away this great little pack of classic matte dots. One of the great things about this comes with a white set up here. So you've got the white, the very vanilla, some gray, and some black. But these white ones, you can take any of your blending pens. So in other words, your Stampin' Blends, the alcohol ink pens, and you can cover over those white ones and make them whatever color you want to. So with holidays coming up, I know we've got Halloween and we've got Thanksgiving. It's kind of nice to come in here and be able to color these whatever colors you need them to match your cards. So that is what I'm doing for the giveaway. All right, so let me move this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to share with you where I got my stamps and my paper and labels and stuff here. Now just know, to make a card for mystery stamping, you do not have to use Stampin' Up! Product. I cannot emphasize that more. This is just about us getting together, making a card. So use whatever you have. Again, it does not have to be related to Stampin' Up! Ugh, crazy hot in Yuma, but 58 in Wisconsin. Woohoo! That's almost chilly for you, Melanie. You're probably walking around with a jacket on, right? Okay, so let's see here. We have got this beautiful product that is coming in the mini catalog coming out in September. So we've got Peace on Earth and the Peace on Earth dies. So this is where I got those 2 coordinating labels here. That came out of this. And then we've got the birds. You've got these little, like almost like an arrow divot thing that they're to actually put on the corners or the sides actually of your labels, and you can run ribbon through those. Really kind of a cool idea. You've got some cute little stars here, and then you've got some wonderful little sentiments here for holidays, for sympathy. And sympathy is what I'm going to use today. I'm going to use With Deepest Sympathy, Heartfelt Prayers. Sending love, peace, love, and joy. All the best in your new adventure. Big hugs for a good friend. Peace on Earth. So it's just a really pretty set. And it's not necessarily Christmas driven. I mean, peace, love, joy, you can use that anytime. You can use big hugs for a good friend. So it's just kind of an overall great set to have. And then you've really got these like little doves in here that would be beautiful on any card. So I am using that today. Also with that, you can get that in a suite collection. You can buy any of these products as a standalone, but we do have this beautiful paper. Now, how did I get my hands on this? Well, because I'm a demonstrator, and as a demonstrator, we get special perks ordering early. And not only was it ordered early, but because I attended the exclusive Stampin' Up! Event, which was called Creativity Now, I was able to order this set that we were able to use when we joined that event. So there is this beautiful, kind of like I wouldn't say they're a hydrangea, but they're a beautiful flower. The backside has that secret sea with the cloud cover stars on it. The next one looks like that. So this would be pretty with holiday cards as well, because I love the blue holiday cards. I think that is so gorgeous. But this is just kind of a little sneak peek of what is coming up. So there's the one side with the really dainty looking little, almost like a baby's breath. This one with, well, we'll go like that. We'll just keep the more muted side on that with the florals over here. So pretty. And then some more of those doves with some of our crumb cake over here. And then this is the other one, the last one here. So there is that, just to kind of give you guys a little look at that. And then the new glimmer paper that is coming, that is, oh, if you love your blues, you guys are gonna fall in love with this paper. Well, I'm gonna set this over here because I'm not gonna sit there and fiddle with that while we're trying to do something here. This is called the Peaceful Garden 12 by 12 glimmer paper. And this is that glimmer paper that the glitter does not come off of. So you're gonna get 2 sheets. Let me see the 3 colors that are in here. There is blue, dark gray, and soft green. So there is our blue. Oh, beautiful. Here is our soft gray, or no, dark gray. There's dark gray. And you get 2 sheets of each of these. And then there's this, what they call this? Soft green. Aren't those, oh, beautiful. So that also is in, and this will be in a suite collection. So you would be able to add all the product. Now, where did I put my, oh, there it is. Then we have this gorgeous, this is called the Misty Moonlight Silver Edged Ribbon. And as you can see, it does have a really pretty silver edge to that. Hopefully putting it on the white, you can see it a little bit better. So, and this is really easy and pliable. So you can make really nice bows with this. But that really neat little edge on there is such a cool look. So I'm going to actually use that in today's project too, since I put on there that ribbon is going to need to be used for this. Let me see. So let's grab our, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about first. If you do not have a 2 different sized labels that you need to use, let me show you. So if you just have a punch or any single die, you can do this. So what I'm gonna do is, for my stamped image, I'm just gonna punch that out, okay? So that would be what I'm using for the white in place of that with this punch. Then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna grab my back color. Now this is just to show you. And what I'm going to do, in order to give it that background look, I can either come in here and cut this way. I'm gonna actually punch out another one to show you the other way. You guys can decide which way you like it. But this gives you an option if you don't have those 2 sides or 2 sizes in the banner. You can take this, spread those apart just a touch, and then lay this on there. And there is your edge. So in other words, it's gonna go like that, be not popped up, but be spread out. And you're gonna get the outside border edge around it that way. Or if you want it going the other way, you can cut this and now do these on the ends. So if you want to leave the top like this, just white, you could go that way. I mean, you could probably possibly do it with both, cutting it both sides, and then go like that. And then that can pull that all together. So you've got options if you just have a single punch and you want to get a outside border look to it, you can achieve that by placing your stamped image, oops, Just a little tips and tricks for you here, just in case you don't have those things. I want you to know that you can use other products to get that same look. So that would give you an out, like a background border on that. You could even go as far as now coming in like this and mashing that up like that. And then you kind of have the full border look around that. Just an idea. Just wanted to throw that out for you guys in case you didn't have the background to a label. You can cut that both ways and then add it to either the ends, the top and bottom, or you can do all 4 slices and get it on all 4 sides. Okay. All right. Now let's get into this card. So with our 10.5 piece here, we are going to fold this like we would a normal card base. And I am just going to grab my, so this is going to go landscape style. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take our paper trimmer / scorer. So make sure you have your score for this part. So when we are looking at our card like this, we're going to start up here at the top right hand corner. So we're going to open that up and all we need is the right. We are going to put the right top corner over here in the scoring channel there. And then actually, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys the first part. We need to score this at 5.25. So we need to bring this over. Sorry, I already scored mine. I didn't put that on the thing. So you're going to score this at 5.25. Okay. Now you're going to crease that down. Now with your front flap, you're going to take that and put that top right corner and you're going to go all the way down to your center score line. You're going to line both those up and you're going to score this. Make sure you have your cutting blade way out of the way. We don't want any cutting going on right now. We are just simply going to score this just like this. And that is going to give us our score down the center of our front card base. Now we're going to fold that in just like so. Okay, and then we're going to set that aside. Now with our piece of designer series paper, we are going to do the same thing. We're going to start up here at this top right hand corner with our pattern facing, vertical. We are going to come up here to our top right and put the bottom left corner in the channel. Now we're going to cut. We're going to cut this diagonal. So if you wind up putting that in there and you wind up getting this caught on the corner, what I suggest is pick it up a little bit, start in the center of your paper and then go back and forth. Then you don't jag up your corner pieces. Okay, so now we're going to take that and set that aside. We're done with our trimmer. So now back to our card base. We are going to grab the bottom portion of that and place that right like so. So you'll see that this matches on here. So that's what you're going to do is you're going to line that up and you're going to match that to your 2 front panels there. Okay, like so. Okay, like so. Now we've got both of our pieces of white. Now remember, our bigger piece that was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is on thick white cardstock. And then our smaller piece, which is the 5 by 3 3/4, this is actually going to go on the inside of our card, right like so. Now you can decide to stamp on this before you put it inside of your card, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it inside of my card first, and then I'll stamp on it once it's in there. I know they always tell you to, it's kind of a good rule of thumb to stamp first, just in case you don't get it correct. You've got 2 sides to your paper. So I kind of jumped the gun on that one and went ahead and placed it first. So I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to come in with my inside sentiment, and I am going to stamp that right over here in the bottom right hand corner, like so. Okay, and then bringing my labels in here, on this label I'm going to stamp my outside sentiment. Okay, close this up so we don't wind up throwing any paper or anything inside of that. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the bigger size label. Yeah, you'll have to wait for the pre-order, but I think it's coming up in August, so you don't really have that long to wait. Just a couple more weeks, and then you'll be able to grab this super cute set. Okay, so now we've got this little weird fold in the middle of our card, right? That looks kind of goofy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our ribbon. You can use a embellishment, you can use whatever you want, but I just think it's kind of cute with the ribbon. If I can get my fingers to work in here. There we go, geez. Now I'm gonna make that just a bit smaller. I think that's a little too big for what I was going for. Okay, that'll work. And I want to kind of make sure that little knot in the center is as flat as I can get it. Then we're going to cut this here. We're gonna make this side just a bit shorter. Okay, now taking one of our mini glue dots or a dot of glue, whatever you like to adhere your ribbon down with. I'm just gonna grab the mini glue dot, pick that up, and taking the front of my card, now it's kind of springy, I'm just going to place this bow right where I want it to be able to catch on that little, it's gonna be kind of an easel mechanism. That's what my bow is going to be in place of, is holding the front of my card up like a little easel. Okay, now with my sentiment here, I'm going to put my sentiment where it is just hanging over the other edge, the edge that kind of lays flat. So if you open up your card and you kind of place it in the center-ish, where you want that, you can come down a little bit, just depending on, hold it up and see where you like the placement. And I am just going to adhere just the right hand side because I don't want anything glued back here on this panel because I want this to be able to flip open. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of glue on the right side of my label and lay that where I like it. and then give that a good push. But I also am making sure it is, you know, not necessarily centered, but straight on both sides. So when they open up their card out of the envelope, it's still going to be flat like so. But then when they pop this up, they can still be able to see this and their inside of their card. Now, why do we have this white piece? Now, what we're going to do is put glue. We're going to adhere the whole back side of the card to our white. Because if you remember the measurements of our blue card base, it wasn't quite the full size of a card. So that will give us this beautiful white, just a little edging around it, and then it's the size of a card. So it will look like that when we are done. And again, like I said, if you want to pop up any little, like again, inside of this set, now I know some of you don't have this set, but you could take the dove and put it up in the inside there. You could take the twig and pop it up on dimensionals. So you could do whatever you want on the inside of your card to use it for your pop-up mechanism or your easel mechanism. You use what you want. I just thought that ribbon was really kind of cute. I saw this idea from my team leader, Kelly Atchison, and I thought that was just so cute, putting the ribbon on the inside of the card. I mean, technically, it's not the inside of the card because once your mechanism is popped up, your little easel, you're seeing all of the gorgeousness. So it's almost kind of like your embellishment on the inside of your card, but not on the inside of your card, I guess you would say. So again, make sure that on your piece here, you're going to score that at, what did I tell you? 5¼ is where you're going to score. And then you're going to score from that top, like if you were holding this way, or even this way, you're going to start over here at the top right-hand corner and score down to the bottom left of your score line. Okay, and that's what's going to create that cute little easel. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Do you guys have any questions? Did I explain something a little goofy that you need a little bit more of a better description? Or is that pretty, did I get it down okay? Let me scroll back up here a minute. Melanie is cold. She said she's got her hands are cold. She's got her jacket on. Yeah, I can imagine going from the heat here of the desert and then going to, you said you're in Wisconsin, right? Going to somewhere like that where you said it was 58 degrees. Holy geez, that would be very cold. Yes, we will be doing, Karen, you asked if me and Andre are going to be going live on Friday for cocktails and cards. Absolutely. We plan on doing that. And I think I actually might use some of this paper and this set for having him create a cute little card. I'm not sure what creative creases are. I've never heard of that. I don't normally join other people's things just because I feel that I'm a demonstrator, and I don't know, I feel like having other people show their things, I don't really have the time to join all these things. I am a part of a couple of swaps that we have on our team, but other than that, I don't really join a whole bunch of other stuff. I just don't really have the time for it. And I feel like I already have everything. So when other demonstrators do giveaways and stuff like that, I don't ever really enter because I feel like that should be for people who, and this is just my opinion. You do you, I do me. But I feel like I don't want to enter something if it's something that I already like have. I don't want to take away from somebody else who doesn't have like all the things like I do. And trust me, I'm not trying to say that as in like, oh, look at me, I have everything, because I don't have everything. Trust me. My husband would probably cut the ties off the credit card if I had everything. So there's a lot of sets that I don't have just because they're not really they don't interest me. So that being said, I don't ever enter any kind of drawings or anything like that. So that's just my opinion of that. But hopefully you guys can create this fabulous card. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. You can add it to the gallery. I might have to check that out. Mostly demos on a design team. I'll have to check that out. And you said it was called Creative Creases. Now, is that something here on Facebook? Or is that something that is a blog done? I do make sure I post all my cards and everything that I make, even Andre's cards that he creates. I post over on TAMS, which is, these are my stamps, but that's something that I pay for. And that is where I also do my like PDFs and my Make It Monday cards when I need to write up supply lists and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much the only other place that I will use. But again, I pay for that subscription to use it that way. Oh, cool. Thanks for posting that, Karen. I'll check that out. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Can't wait to see your guys' projects that you come up with using this little, I guess it's called like a corner easel, I guess you might call it. So, you guys, thanks for coming in here and watching me and being a part of our July mystery stamping. Now, if you're watching this at a later date, just know that you have until the 23rd to get your cards submitted over on Pink Barn Stamper Group. If you're not a part of that group, please go over there and join that. Make sure you read the rules and some of the requirements that you have. There's a couple of questions that it's going to ask you to let you come into that group. And it's just for me to try to keep that group as safe as possible. So make sure you answer the questions there, and I will get to that and get you put into the group so then you can submit your cards in there as well. Okay, you guys, take care. Don't forget that this is what I am giving away on Wednesday, the 23rd. So you have until that day, Wednesday, the 23rd. I normally do the drawing. I am on Pacific time right now. Arizona, we don't have daylight savings. So half the year I am on Mountain time, half the year I'm on Pacific time. So right now I am on Pacific time, and I will do the drawing normally around 5 p.m. Pacific time. So you guys can do the math on that. It's hard enough for me to keep track of all the times anyways, because everybody else, well, not everybody, there is a couple of other places that don't have daylight savings, but very few places do. So I have to keep track of enough times going on. So, all right, you guys, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.